Well, hello, everybody. This is Dusty once again from the Fellowship Committee, and I'm here with Lola Waldner today. And I'm very excited to hear what you have to say and get to know you better. So, thank you for letting me come. So, Lola, when did you become a member of UCC Yankton and why did you join there?
Well, I grew up in Wessington Springs, South Dakota, and I was always a UCC member.
Okay.
And then Yankton Church, I couldn't tell you when I joined, but then I left for 15 years and came back and rejoined the church.
Okay.
So, and then when I was in college, sang in the choir, and we had to go to church. So I sang and didn't join, but I went to this same church 3 different times.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I've been here a long time.
Yeah. So, you grew up where?
In Wessington Springs, South Dakota.
And how far is that from here?
Oh, about 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay. And what brought you to Yankton?
Well, I came to college here,
Okay.
and then I lived here for a long time, moved away, and then when we retired, my husband suggested Yankton, and I screamed because I was so glad to get back here.
Good.
Yeah, I love it here.
Well, we love having you in the choir, so
I love it.
and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be in. So I can't wait to
And
get
Ted
back.
Powell he's from my hometown also.
Oh,
So I knew his mom, and I've known him since he was a little kid too. Yeah.
that's funny. Okay, so if you could give yourself or someone younger than you advice, looking back over your life, what advice would you give to somebody today or yourself?
You mean about the church? Or
No, just
No.
in general.
Oh, I don't know. About the church, I would say get involved,
Mm-hmm.
be on a board, because then you meet somebody and you get to know them better. And then after you're even off the board, you always can visit with them and talk to them because you know them.
Yes.
So,
make that personal connection.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But about life, I don't know. When I was in 2nd grade, I had a teacher that I loved, and I wanted to be a teacher from 2nd grade on. And I became a teacher.
Yeah.
I never wavered from that. I was all growing up, I wanted to be a teacher. And I did. I was.
That's awesome. And I'm sure you made a great difference in
Well,
a lot of
I
students'
hope
lives.
so. I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So, you told me earlier you walked to school because you lived in town.
Oh, yeah, just
So,
close.
Yeah.
It's a small town. It was like 3 blocks away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of snow?
Oh, yes, a lot of snow. Every single year, we had at least 1 day of no school.
Wow.
Because I'm old, and those days there wasn't a lot of snow removal stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we had lots of snow.
I would have loved that. I remember snow. I grew up in a town, but I walked to school, and there was huge mounds from the snowplows.
Yeah,
And I used to pretend that I was Heidi in the Alps. And we used to come home at lunch.
we did too.
And I
We did
have
too.
no idea how in the heck I got back in time because I was off in the Alps for Lord only knows how long. But that was fun. I enjoyed that. So, did you have chores when you were a kiddo?
Well, I lived in town, so the chores were just things in the house.
Okay.
You know, dishes and yard work in the summer.
Did you have siblings?
I have a sister, one
Okay.
sister. Hmm.
Older, younger?
Younger.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we had to do dishes and scrub the floor and clean, I don't know, the living room,
Yeah.
and that just kind of nothing terribly
Right.
exhausting. No.
So, what did your father do?
My father had a gas station, and that was just kind of across the street from where we lived. And so he was too nice. If we needed money, he always would give us money to buy a treat or something. And one day there was a big icicle hanging down from the corner of the station, and I thought, I'm going to break that icicle off, and it went through the window.
Oh!
And there were some men around, and one guy there never let me forget it. And my dad didn't ever get excited about anything, so, he just, the window's broke, we'll fix it. That was it. I don't think I even had to pay for it. I don't know. He just never got mad.
So, did your mom work outside the home, or did she just take care of you and your sister?
Sometimes she worked at a clothing store downtown at
Okay.
holiday time or whenever.
Oh, good.
Just
Okay.
once in a while. Yeah, she enjoyed that.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
So when you were in high school, did you compete in any sports, or did you do activities or anything?
We did not have sports then.
Oh.
It was I'm too old for that. We
Okay.
didn't have sports. I was in a lot of music things, in the band and in mixed chorus and girls glee club and solo work and just
Wow.
mostly music things.
So you were in a band. Did you play an instrument?
Clarinet.
Oh, wow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right.
Can you still play?
No.
Okay.
When my daughter was in high school and took clarinet, I could still play, but I'm sure I couldn't play anymore. No.
I like clarinet. It's a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yep. So you have kids.
I have 3 kids.
Do they live nearby?
No, well, not very. West Virginia, Colorado, and I have a son that lives east of Pierre.
All right.
And my kids are 58, 60, and 62. And that's kind of how I feel like I'm that old.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in my 20s, but
No.
after getting bit by my horse today, my fanny doesn't feel that way. So, yeah, naughty horse. All right, so you went to college here in Yankton. You got your degree in education.
I did.
You taught what grades?
Well, I taught in the resource room special ed.
Oh, okay.
So I got my degree here, and then I got my master's at Vermilion
Okay.
in special ed.
And you taught here in town, and then you also taught in...
I taught in Walt Hill, Nebraska for a couple of years, and then I taught in Homer for 10. So I think it was 28 years altogether.
Wow. A lot of change in special ed.
Well,
those
there
years.
is now, but
Yeah.
then we kind of kept up with it year after year. But
Yeah.
now it's a lot different.
That's what I did when I taught special ed, kept up with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad.
I was there teaching the year that they implemented using the computerized programs for doing assessments and everything. And I remember just being, what? I'm going to push a button and everything's going to disappear.
Yeah, we did. We had some computers
Yeah.
that we had to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so your first job, what was that?
Oh wow! Well, babysitting when I
Okay.
was I don't
Yeah.
know, a teenager probably.
Yeah.
A quarter an hour.
Okay.
Yep. And then it got to be 35 cents an hour. And then what we did was after the kids were in bed, then we washed the dishes and straightened up the house,
Yep.
all for a quarter an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what I remember doing too.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And did you do another job besides teaching in between?
well, when I was in high school, my dad had a restaurant, so my sister and I had to work in the restaurant all the time.
All right.
Yeah, that was pretty.
My head
That was
is
a lot
off.
of work.
My
That was a
head's
lot of
off
work.
to any wait staff. I am
Yeah.
not good at that kind of thing. So do you said you didn't really know your grandparents all that well because they lived
Well, my dad's mom lived out on the farm nearby, so we knew Grandma,
Okay.
and she was total German, and so were my mom's parents, and she was, well, she had an accent, of course, and she and Grandpa, who I never met, they were both born in Parkston in 1881.
Wow.
And then she lived out on the farm when I knew her, and she was cooking and baking every day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Parkston's still out in the middle of nowhere, so
Well, not really.
well, yeah,
It's
a
close
little.
to Mitchell. It's
Yes,
yeah.
it is close to Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
We just drove through there over the weekend. So,
Oh,
all right. So, how did you meet your spouse?
my sister. They were friends. Who went to the same church, and then she introduced me to him.
And where did you go on your first date? Do you remember?
Yeah, Yankton, the library restaurant.
Ah,
Yeah, he came over and asked me where I wanted to go, and that's where we went.
nice.
It's not there anymore. There's
No.
not a restaurant there, but it was a really good place then.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
fun. That's good. And what did he do?
He was a superintendent of schools in Homer, Nebraska.
All right. Good guy.
Yep, good guy, real good guy. He was
That's
there
nice.
28 years at the
That's
school.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you all had that time together. So something surprising that most people don't know, besides the window where you broke off, that might be a topper. We might not need to go anywhere else. Besides that, you broke
Yeah.
the icicle off and broke the window. Anything else that you can think of?
No.
Something that you and your sister got into when you were little?
Oh, I think I broke a window once hitting a ball through a neighbor's window. I did that.
You should stay away from balls.
I stay away from windows.
Yeah, windows, yeah.
Otherwise, I can't think of anything that was real terrible or anything.
Did you guys have dances when you were in high school?
We did. 2 records.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right, so I guess, is there anything that you want to tell us about yourself that you are amazed that you have accomplished when you look back?
Well, I think just the fact that I got my degree and got my master's, because my parents only finished the 8th grade.
Okay.
So in my mind, I wanted to be a teacher, so I knew I had to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm proud of that.
You should be.
And proud that I raised 3 kids. And
yeah. Do any of them teach?
yes, my daughter just retired from teaching music, and her son, my grandson, teaches orchestra at a middle school in Durango, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
So it's 3 generations.
Yes, it is. 8th grade, yeah. It's amazing the opportunities that our generations have seen, the changes. What's the most surprising thing that you have today that you didn't used to have? Something that.
Well, I've often talked with friends of mine. We've talked about this, that my mom and dad. Well, my dad would be amazed at what things are in cars today, because he also sold Pontiac cars. So he'd be amazed at what cars have inside them, and my mom would be. I think she'd be shocked. I have 3 bathrooms in this house.
Oh.
Because we only had 1. I mean, and it was, it's just things like that that I think my parents would be really surprised, and they'd think that was terrible. Who needs 3 bathrooms?
Right, but we somehow use them all, don't we?
Right.
So, all right, well, thank you for letting me come today and get to know you a little bit better.
You're welcome.
And see, it wasn't so.
It wasn't so bad, no.
Thanks.